In his integral vision, Sri Aurobindo synthesized the spiritual wisdom traditions of the past with the modern scientific concept of evolution on Earth. It is in his synthesis that we find the earliest, most comprehensive vision and practice of an evolutionary yoga psychology and cosmology. Many spiritual traditions focus exclusively on the liberation of consciousness into a timeless existence beyond birth and death. They aim to escape from the cycle of rebirth and therefore ignore the evolutionary potential of life on Earth. But Sri Aurobindo's integral yoga aims at not only the liberation of consciousness, but demands an evolutionary transformation of human life towards its divinization here on Earth. Modern science has shown that life on Earth has evolved over millions of years, and the tree of evolution is still unfolding. But science explains evolution through a genetic process of probability and chance. Sri Aurobindo explains that consciousness is the fundamental reality of all existence, and it is already involved in matter. Evolution is the method by which this secret consciousness liberates itself and creates increasingly complex life forms to express itself. The human mind is the peak of nature's evolution. But the evolution of mind is still incomplete. Beyond mind are higher ranges of consciousness. The range of consciousness, which Sri Aurobindo calls the supermind, is the next evolutionary step beyond mind. A new species of humanity endowed with supermind is emerging from the present human race. The long process of evolution on Earth can be understood as the unconscious yoga of nature, a development without self-conscious will in plant and animal life. but human beings are self-aware. And now, the evolutionary process can become conscious. This gives us the possibility of a consciously accelerated evolution. There are hidden splendors within us waiting. Integral yoga is a process of accelerating their flowering. The evolutionary process is already happening secretly behind our surface consciousness, and we are unaware of the journey. Our psyche, in its early stages of development, exists only as a divine spark, covered by the layers of surface consciousness. These frontal surface movements are all that we are normally aware of. Together, they constitute our false self, our ego, made up of ideas, thoughts, imaginations, memories, emotions, passions, drives, desires, sensations, and habits. It can be a fully individualized ego, or an ego that identifies more with a group consciousness. An underdeveloped ego is one that thinks and feels along with its group, and is yet to crystallize as an individualized mental being. The development of a personal vision and ideas that can successfully differentiate a person from the group consciousness and follow the individual will is the beginning of the individual mental being and its individual ego. Current approaches to personality development mostly center around developing this outer individuality. Integral yoga recognizes the emergence and development of the individualized mental being as a necessary step in evolution before spiritual and supramental transformation is possible. The human body is a product of the evolution of consciousness in matter and carries within it the whole evolutionary past. First, the emergence of matter. Second, the emergence of life in matter. Third, the emergence of mind in living matter. Our body is made of the elements of matter. Within this material frame, life energy has established its workings. And within this living frame, the mind has established its workings. These three layers can be compared to the hardware, the electrical energy, and the intelligent software. These are the three layers of our instrumental nature: body, life, and mind. They are woven into each other and have mixed workings in the whole system. In subjective experience, the operations of the mind are experienced in the region of our head. The movements of life energy are generally felt in the torso as emotions, passions, drives, and desires. Life energy gives us our vitality, and it is called the vital in integral yoga. Going down the body, characteristic movements are more dense and habitual. The consciousness of the physical is relatively dull and inert. The stages of our evolutionary past can be seen as stacked vertically in the body, each layer expressing a different type of consciousness. What is below is subconscient, going all the way down to the inconscient pole. Consciousness is on an ascending course of evolution, emerging from the inconscient pole. What is above is superconscient, going all the way to Sachidananda. What is behind is subliminal, carrying deep within it the psychic being, our psychological center, secretly guiding evolution. Our normal wakeful state knows only the surface layers. Much more happens behind the veil. These are the broad regions of consciousness explored and mapped by Sri Aurobindo and the Mother.